that RTMP source to here. And
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
now
uh-huh.
you should be able to hear us.
Sir Choina, if you want to do a fact check and see if that
Test,
seems
test.
like it's any true or not. Let's see if we've got some audio restored in the Twitch and or the YouTube stream. I'm like most
Mm.
of y'all. I'm mostly staying put here in the Discord and kind of playing ball here in the Discord. So sometimes I'm not always thinking about it, but continuous improvement, right? We're always getting better.
Well, and that's why I like doing these morning shows because it helps me dial in my skill set here with this.
Mm-hmm. Let me. Oh, actually, that sounds good.
We're coming through
That's
good now.
perfect. Yeah, I just spot checked on the YouTube and that looks good. Both of our audios are coming right through. So after this, what we'll do is you'll have to show me that OBS routing with the RTMP trick,
Yeah,
and that's perfect. That's exactly that's it. Nice. Thanks,
nice.
Choina. Thanks for watching our backs, Boba.
Perfect. Yeah. So the only difference here now, the only hang up that we have now is when I'm speaking and you're speaking, there's going to be a lag between when my mouth moves and you actually hear what I'm saying because the video source is completely separate from the Discord or TMP source. They're not synced up. And so this is what
Gotcha.
Zombie was actually talking about earlier, how he uses loopback. And what loopback does is it takes the audio and reroutes it with your video. I
Is
guess
that
that's what it
only
does.
is that only an issue if you're like trying to do Discord as well as watch the Twitch stream? Like for the user experience, what
Yeah,
what
I
does
think
that
so.
affect?
I
Because
think
if
that's
people are
the
listening to us in Discord right now, then they catch it in real time.
yeah, it's the fact that people in Discord aren't in the studio, so you can't actually hear them unless you route an audio source from Discord to Restream.
Hey, what up, No Futuristic? Good morning, my
GM,
friend.
GM.
Cool, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
Dow director business is what he's doing a good job of coming over and making sure I'm ready. I tell you what, herding kittens like no one's business. You want to talk about a challenge? It's there's only what 9 Dow directors, getting
Yes.
5 of them synchronized to execute time-sensitive transactions. Wow, it is a real challenge. It's gonna happen, but it has been a big troubles for us to try to just get 5 people to be together at the exact same time and execute. Now, mind you, we got more than 5 right here for GM with GMI, so we just need to kind of spill over some of this good vibes into the DAO directors, but we'll make it happen.
Can we do a live
Especially,
signing on GM with GMI? Like do a
we
live.
definitely can. Uh huh. Uh huh. Absolutely. If it happens in time, then absolutely we can. Let me hop over here and
I
see
want to
what
see
we
how
got.
the sausage is made, man. Let's see it.
Oh yeah, it's made really well.
It's made
Let's
really
see here.
well. Well, I have no doubt, man. You have some fine craftsmanship going on up there. So
Hey, just help me out too. Is my keyboard like the most loud and annoying? Is it really terrible, or is it not too bad?
it's not too bad, but I
Okay,
can hear it.
okay. Well, good. And at least that lets you know I'm not lying. I'm doing real work.
So I've been training the GMI Oracle, you guys. It's getting smarter.
You've been working with this thing a lot, man.
Its intelligence has improved because people were complaining they would ask it Aavegotchi questions and it wouldn't really. It would give you some things, but some of it was like kind of made up. It would just make things up. I'm like, this can't happen. You can't just make things up. So I did end up actually, shout out to Let's Go Bankless. Actually hooked me up with a lot of the data sets for the battle mechanics and the traits and everything. So now you can actually ask it, like, my Aavegotchi has these traits. How, what do I need to do for it? It doesn't have the wearable, it doesn't have wearable data sets yet, but eventually I want it to be like this bot where you come in, you say, I have a Aavegotchi that is SBK this, brain this, energy this, aggressiveness this. And what it'll do is it'll go look and see which wearables will fit your Gotchi, and it'll just tell you, well, this is the best wearable set for your Gotchi. If you want to be a melee master in the arena, this is the best set you want to get. If you want to optimize for defense, this is the best set you should get. And just have that like completely simple experience where you come in here, you ask it what you want, and it just tells you, you know. But it's not there yet.
Where's that gonna be? That's the Oracle. You think that's gonna be that smart?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn. So this is that's almost like an automated dressing room, right? Because the Forge just is like I think they secured their 2.0 funding run,
Yeah.
and so they're gonna implement the dressing room as one of the features now of the new Forge. And the dressing room is
Mm,
essentially like synthetic, equipment. outfitting. So you can put these wearables on your Gotchi and see what it would look like without owning them. And so you can see how it would affect your stats. Well, that's all still manual at this point. That's like you, like Mr. Potato Head style, just playing with your dressing room.
Well,
But
I
with
think
what
that
you're,
would be that's a different experience, though. I will say that is you
well,
know,
it's that plus what you're talking about, and we've got some real secret sauce. So give me an artificial dressing room where I can see what it all looks like, and also give me a dressing consultant to advise me on my best outfits.
maybe I sell the Forge. Maybe that's a service I provide to the Forge team.
You're
I
always
got this
thinking, man.
bot that I trained that can do
Yeah,
that can be your
yeah,
front desk. It's your front desk
yeah, Noah guy.
concierge. Yeah, for the dressing room.
All right, my ledger is hooked up. I just activated. I am headed to Gnosis right now. Our good friend Maxi Crouton has spun up a transaction for a big fat ass swap of DAI to USDC so that we can continue funding our buyback swap contract.
Yeah. So you guys are doing these in little chunks. What are these chunks? What are the size of these
Oh, it's super small,
transactions?
real minor, only like 3 million at a time.
Only 3 million at a time.
Yeah.
And so the purpose of this is to not impact the like not create excessive market volatility. Is that right?
Um,
Or is there a bigger reason to doing it this
in
way?
terms of like doing it in little
Yes.
tranches.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a good question.
Or is it just a risk management thing?
I think so. I think it's mostly that. There isn't an explicit reason that I'm aware of that's like exactly why we have to only fund 2 weeks at a time. I think we could fund it deeper if we wanted to. We could fund it shallower if we wanted to. There's a lot of operational. I don't like this vein of discussion here necessarily. But there's a lot of operational needs
Challenges?
still.
Yeah.
I would say needs from the DAO
Needs. Okay.
directors at this point, where it's like I mean, it's not as simple as just sign here and don't think and don't worry about anything else. It's becoming a little bit involved. It's becoming
Really?
a little bit of an executive group. We don't make decisions for the DAO, but in terms of executing the decisions that the DAO has enabled, there are some things to make. Like we are now responsible for managing the funding of this buyback contract. There
Hmm.
wasn't explicit instruction in the proposal that said every 2 weeks fund with this amount for this many months. They gave us the runway schedule. You know, it's 18 months with this de-escalating ramp, but there was never a specific like instructions on how to actually fund the contracts and when to fund them. And so that part we've had to kind of fill in that gap.
Interesting. I mean, it's good for us to know as well as like DAO participants because it's like, yeah, these guys are like working. We're not just like, we're not just giving money to the DAO. Like it's real work, is what you're saying here. It's not just signing off a transaction. It's becoming, it sounds like the frequency is increasing and also the friction, not necessarily friction, but the things that need to be considered before a transaction, before the money actually leaves the vault. There's some real questions that have to be answered, and not
Oh God, no.
yeah.
I'm looking no futuristic ask in here. Right? Is the DAO Foundation even set up as a legal entity?
Hey,
That's a great question,
I'll
friend.
tell you that man asks all the important questions. I think that's definitely something we need to bring up during the next DAO meeting, just to get a confirmation. If anything, a celebration of like we did it. I don't think
hmm
I don't think I've had that. I don't think we've had that yet. And I
I
totally feel no futuristic sentiment there too.
I do think we're gonna watch something happen that's gonna be. I don't know if unfortunate's the right word. I see this coming. I see it coming. So right now the only officer position that we're discussing is the treasurer position for Maxi Crouton. And I think that it's going to end up being not just the officer position. I think he's going to end up being like essentially the controller. I think he's going to be the
The
one
operator,
person. Yeah, he's going to be like the operator,
the DAO
and
operator.
the 8 of us are going to just be there, to kind of power check him and sign support. But I feel because like I'm not in a position where I can try to coordinate the other 8 directors. I'm not going to be the one to say, "Hey, I've spun up a transaction. You guys
Yeah.
all come here on Monday. Let's meet at 5. Let's do the thing." And so it's not my position, but it's not anyone's position currently. Maxi's kind of self-absorbing that role and put himself forward as the treasurer officer to give himself a little more empowerment in that capacity, and also to kind of acknowledge his additional labor load. But it's an evolving organization, and I don't want. We saw this in the first maybe month, right? No Future got into it with a couple of our friends in the public that were curious about the timeline on these transactions and when's this happening and why is that happening, and he was in good faith trying to support and be transparent and answer questions, and not to their satisfaction level, and it became kind of almost a point of pain. But it's like we're not, like, we're just community members that got elevated into this role. This is a learning experience for everybody here, and so it's not fair to expect professional level execution from this group of directors without giving them professional guidance.
Well, and oftentimes we throw professional around loosely, really, around here in this DAO. But I think that we do have real professionals here. We have professionals. We have DAO professionals. We have Web3 professionals. I think the way we act now compared to when we all first started has been professional. And so, when people say, oh, well, they're not acting professional, it's like, well, what do you expect? Do you want someone from like JP Morgan to come in here and start managing this stuff? Like, he's going to have no fucking clue about any of this stuff. And so, I don't know, man. I think people like yourselves as the treasurers, myself even included, many like the DAO contributors, they often get the short end of the stick, and it definitely triggers me a little bit when I have to think about that, because it's like, yeah, these people have no idea, they have no clue what they have, who they have in their DAO, and it's like, yeah, we could get PM from Web2 world to come in here and do this, but you'll quickly realize that there are shortfalls there too, major ones. So. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
You always make me feel really good, man. You have you do great at pumping us up as community members, because it's a great reminder of the expertise and the experience and the skill that we have. It's easy to forget how much we all know. If you're just like a normal standard Aavegotchi community member and you participate in Snapshot and you've claimed experience and maybe you've done a little bit of LP farming in Alchemica, I mean, you are so much further along than so many crypto exposed individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, ultimately, my mission is to spread financial literacy, crypto literacy specifically. I think Aavegotchi is the best way possible to do that, in my opinion.
It's definitely the most fun and the cutest. I can tell you that, no problem.
It just feels friendly, man. Like, I don't know. I was intimidated by DeFi and learning all this stuff, but just getting into the Aavegotchi community, it's like, hey, I got an Aavegotchi. I should probably know what Aave is, right? So go research Aave. It was a great rabbit hole to go down. Many of those things. So that's just where I'm at with that. Pepe, by the way. Pepe, can we talk about that for a sec?
We absolutely can, because DAO Director business is handled. I have signed my transaction, and I am doing my part.
Pepe has been around for 8 days now. 40,000 holders. 40,000 holders. That's incredible. In 8 days. And almost 150 million market cap, starting from a $4,000 liquidity pool on Uniswap. So it's really incredible. Doge founder is losing his mind, going a little insane, attacking people, blocking everybody. I don't know, man. It feels like a tide shift in the meme world for me. Pepe was definitely in the shadows for a long time, and it's about time gets recognized.
I'm kind of like, as we're talking about this and watching this phenomena occur, it is striking me specifically that it has not been the dominant meme coin out there. It's kind of surprising, actually, as I sit back and reflect on it. I'm like, that is interesting that this is happening now. You would think that I mean, it's such a famous meme. It's such a classic meme. You would think that it's gonna just make it happen.
Well, I'll tell you something else. Pepe right now there are more holders of Pepe than holders of Blur, and Blur was airdropped to every NFT trader, major NFT trader, in the space, basically.
You know, I heard a comment from the CEO of Stability uh, AI, which is Stable Diffusion, and they have also just released a chatbot competitor to the ChatGPT suite. He was specifically mentioning about how AI suites in general, like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, all these tools, have already received more downloads and likes in the app stores than like all crypto applications of all time. Like any Bitcoin related thing, all Ethereum related things, MetaMask wallets, all of it. AI has already surpassed that in interest and downloads. And so it's just a reminder of like paying close attention to zeitgeist. Pay real close attention when you see wild enthusiasm on a thing. Timing in the market can sometimes be really relevant. And so this Pepe thing feels like maybe just it's its time. It's not like it hasn't been tried before. The memes existed for a long time.
Well, and you
Why
feel the
why is it
fear.
working now?
Well, I was on a space, and you feel the fear from a lot of major NFT shillers. You feel it from a lot of major NFT marketplaces, because really, the mimetic energy of Pepe is so powerful. It's one of the first internet memes ever created. It was Pepe existed before the internet, which is crazy to believe, but it existed before the internet and was one of the first major internet memes. And now it's still persisting in culture today and has, and not so much even in crypto culture. It's pervaded into crypto culture, but primarily it is normie culture. Like the whole Pepe caught noise with Matt Fury's artwork being stolen by, the right wing the MAGA crew, taking it and making their own, and then Trump winning the election and all this thing, Pepe being a big part of that. It was seen in a bad light, and then so there was a movement to take Pepe back and to make it kind of wholesome again, to make it have the meaning it was always meant to have. And so I think the awareness of Pepe it reaches far beyond the crypto space. And if there's something right now that can make people FOMO into crypto that are maybe non-native crypto people, it would probably be some shitcoin like Pepe, because it's like, when you first get into crypto, you kind of approach it as like a casino. A lot of people do. They approach it like a casino, and so for them, their risk tolerance is not very high. They just want to throw money in and see what happens, and maybe you make something, maybe you don't. You don't want to do that with these, like, you're not going to do that with Bitcoin, for example. It's just not, you're not going to feel anything if it goes up 20%, but if it goes up like 200% or 10x's in a short period of time, you're going to feel something. And maybe that's enough to get your attention. Maybe that's enough for you to start looking into crypto a little bit more. Maybe that's the thing that turns people into believers, is buying, $10 of the shitcoin and turning it into $50 or $100. Maybe that's what gets them interested. So
It's what got me interested. That first, direct evidence of magic really, really makes an impression. And that's what gets an individual to say, tell me more. What just happened here?
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you see tons, like you see in the chat, there's tons of like derivative, not even derivative, but just other Pepe projects out there that should really speak to the mimetic power of Pepe. Pepe token came out, and now there's like hundreds of different Pepe derivatives. Not so, I can't even call them derivatives. They're
Yeah, just
derivatives.
homage.
Derivatives.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Easy opportunity. Don't miss that one.
I mean, so Pepe is now in Polygon as well, like Goobs is saying here. It's not even the original Pepe. It's another token called Saiyan Pepe, which is cool. I was looking at this one, but I will say they kind of, I don't know, man. Their execution on this one was slightly off. I'll tell you why. Because they doxed the dev.
Mm-hmm.
It's a meme. You don't want to know. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody cares who made this coin. If you want it to do well, launch the contract, burn the keys, have it out there in the wild, make it for everybody. I don't know, man. It just there's a lot of cash grabs out there too, and I'm not saying this coin's not going to go anywhere. Maybe people will buy it, but for me personally, the mimetic energy is quite strong in the original Pepe token because of the way it launched. Completely fair distribution. Um, Literally, the founders hold like a small bag of their own token, so it really was just good vibes from the start. And so I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of risky plays out there. I'm not saying Pepe isn't in itself, but it's kind of like if you're looking at the Pepe risk curve, the original Pepe token, Pepe Cash is probably on the far left. You could go buy some Pepe Cash. It has that provenance. It's been around for a while. It's collectible. It's on the Bitcoin blockchain. Then you probably move over to like the Pepe token on Ethereum that just launched, and then you have everything else after that. So I think if Pepe does well, a lot of other things will, but we'll see.
It's a good, like you mentioned before, it's a good bellwether. It's a good way to kind of just check enthusiasm and attention. Like LT Bird, man, that's a take back right there.
Ooh, yeah,
I miss that place, man.
yeah.
I will say, like, what's his name? Gosh, dang it. Awkward AI yesterday during his presentation on the brand building and stuff. I really liked his idea with the enamel pins. This idea of POAPs turning into physical merch that we can sell as limited editions at events in the future is a good idea. He mentioned that penthouse at the end and showed us that floor plan. I don't know how many people were able to sleep in that floor plan. It looked like a one-bedroom unit to me. So I just wanted to know where his head was at, something to follow up on. But I'm happy to see other community members thinking about Aavegotchi projects' future presence at in real life events. And T-Bird just mentioned that Lost Local reached out to him to ask if he wanted to come up to help him at the booth at Consensus in Austin. That's fantastic. This is the whole point, right? Getting our community activated to be able to represent ourselves.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Gotchi Lodge 2022 20 tour where we rent a penthouse because according to Awkward AI it would have actually worked out to be cheaper. So that's what we're doing next time.
Well, we'll maybe be a little cozier with each other too, and know what we can kind of tolerate more, right? Maybe we can take a smaller unit closer into town, but it's what I mostly enjoy is that it's April 24th, and we're already talking about plans for the next ETH Denver. That's very exciting to me.
We got to. I think we got to get ahead of the curve and just make this next one. I mean, the first one was learning. The second one's just gonna have to be like blown out of the water because we know exactly what to expect now. So.
Well, and we've got wonderful feedback from so many community members already. Like there are a lot of really great ideas that were brought up after the fact. It's like y'all could have done this, we could have tried that, we could have managed this way, we could have targeted this, and all of it's gold, all of it's correct and accurate, and we could have and we will. That will be on the agenda for next time. So all those good ideas, toss them in a bag somewhere. Light Piglet, you're full of them. And so just keep them all, close to heart, and we will motivate all of these things into reality as we get closer.
Yeah, no doubt.
Two things for me real quick that I wanted to, and then we can kind of stretch out past the 30 minutes as much as we'd like to, but two things I want to kind of highlight and talk about here is
for sure.
Just a reminder of Thrax's really great 420 piece that he made. He self-produced it and self-minted it. It's still available for minting. It's a 1-week mint. It's 0.42 Matic to mint. Really affordable in my opinion, and another great bespoke little custom Thrax piece. I love his work in general, and he's a great artist personally, and so I'm always there to help him out. And so I picked up a good stack of these. I did mint 20 of these earlier today. It's 8.4 Matic. It's nothing. These are going to be little gems. These are going to be little Easter eggs that we're going to be able to distribute later on throughout the year with GMI. Because people are going to forget about these. They're gonna sleep on them. They're going to forget about them. Right now, there's only 84 that exist. And that's just something I wanted to make sure that people are at least aware of.
Ooh,
I think a really
how many did you mint so far?
I minted 20.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 of the 84, so I'm about a fourth of the collection right now.
Man, are you guys feeling sad? None of you guys are gonna get the new fake Gotchi I'm releasing. I just thought about that the other night. I'm like, I can't give any away.
Oh well, I got to look at the distribution list because there might be a couple of us in here that are on that list. Okay. I gotta check and see if I'm on that list.
Well, why don't we sit down and go through the list at some point? I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, my address is the only one I recognize, so I'm really just looking to see if I'm on the damn list. But yeah, if not, I'll work with somebody that is on the list, and we'll fulfill. But yeah, we need to make those happen. Are you gonna do something to where if somebody doesn't step forward to claim one of the
Yes.
40 slots, then that'll re-roll?
There's a claiming period, so I want to make a claiming period
Cool.
of about, I think I'll do 60 days to 2 months. And so you just
Good
have to
Lord,
contact,
you're so generous.
I mean, you just have to contact me. And, I know sometimes these things take a while. If someone stepped away for a month or two, it happens. But I'll work with people. Just reach out to me. Let me know where you got uh, your two one-hit wonders. I have an address you got to send it to, so you got to send it to that address, and that's where they'll get burned. So,
Yeah, we'll do that ceremoniously.
yeah.
Um, there's nothing wrong with putting out just the list of the winners, right? Addresses. There's nothing that's necessarily
Nope.
doxed in there.
Nope.
So
Magic
let me. I'll
Eden
do.
just did that, so I mean, we're not
Cool.
we're not in the
I've
wrong
done
for
that
that.
before.
Yeah.
I can commit to that today. So by this afternoon, I'll get some tweets and some content and maybe some announcements here in the channel
Cool.
to get the winners list out and visible, so that way people can start checking and seeing if they're on that list and can start pinging you and reaching out and making their claims.
Yeah. I kind of want to have it up there somewhere. Maybe we'll pin it up in the GMI Twitter on the GMI Twitter so that you can go.
Sure. Hmm.
It's like when you were in high school and you had to go to the board to see if you actually made it on the team, right? So
Yeah, 100%.
you're gonna go do that, and once you have made it into the holders team, you're gonna send me two one-hit wonders. So if you have one, that just makes it a little bit more complicated for you because now you got to go reach out to either I think Gotchi Emperor Web, and there's one more large holder I have offhand that you can reach out to, who I think would be happy to either sell you one or straight up probably just give you one, but we'll see. You should reach out to them and see if you can snag your second one there.
A lot of agates closing today too. 76 has got 10 hours left. 77's got 11 hours
Oh,
left. 78's got 11 hours left. 79's got 22 hours left. The rest of them are all about 22 hours. So you got less than
man.
24 hours for like 7 agates. You got less than 12 hours for 3.
Yeah, okay. For someone who is very involved in DAO activities, I tend to forget to vote myself on a lot of these. So I'm going to go and do that today.
Yeah, we do have to pay attention to
Get
that.
my votes in.
All right, let me do these safe signs for Dow Foundation 2
All
real
right, I think we
quick.
should. Are we
Oh,
all done for this
no,
morning? Oh, you got one
no,
more
let me do
thing.
one more
Okay.
thing, and I'll make this super quick and not go deep dive here, but Kula Longus is in the room with us right now. If y'all don't know who Kula Longus is, Kula Longus is a fucking grinder. This individual is one of the harder working scholar operators in the entire space. And I've recently finally got my act together and got Gotchi's on a whitelist into his possession. So just without getting too deep into it, what he advised me to do is to take my Gotchis. I've got them in the Gotchi vault, put them on a whitelist designated to him and him alone, and then he's able to grab those Gotchis and utilize level 9 parcels inside the Gotchi vault ecosystem to channel all of my Gotchis against level 9 altars all day long. And it's crushing it. It's a really good strategy in terms of my Gotchi utilization, for considering they were sitting in my
Damn.
wallet doing nothing. It's been quite lucrative, honestly. Like
Okay,
compared
cool.
to the nothing I had to where I'm at now, it's a great strategy.
Okay, cool. Longest. We gotta talk, man. I gotta get my, cause I got 10 gotchis for you that you can channel. So
And that's exactly it. Got to a point where I was like, let me just do it myself with him and see what the deal is here, and it's working really well. So I'm gonna get smoke screens in the mix as well. And then yeah, if you want to look into it, the nice thing is it's still utilizing all the same rails and smart contracts. The only real risk that you're accepting is the utilization of the Gotchi Vault. And if you're comfortable with that, then the rest of it's pretty rock solid. And he's been extremely even through current Matic gas, through all of the gas wars that have been happening in the last couple of weeks. He hasn't slipped a channel. He hasn't missed anything. He front runs the others trying to get those level 9s. He's a contract interactor. He's good.
he's a contract interactor. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it.
All right. I think that's good. We can call that the show. And I've still got lots of sign-in business to do. Maxi Crouton has been busy.
All right. Well, with that being said, have a good day, friends. Hope you have a great Monday. This was Hefe with GMI with her GMI friends. we'll see you tomorrow morning at 3 p.m. UTC. And I hope y'all have a good week if we don't see you. Peace.